Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline at Olive Oil's Pizzeria and more, 930 Brookline Boulevard. We've got great guests coming up. We'll be talking a lot of martial arts tonight, so stay tuned in and hear the rest of this. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. Got my co-host Smoke and Jim Frazier. Look at that red outfit he got. Who do you represent tonight? I know it's not Cleveland.
Brothers like colors.
But what team is it? He can't answer. Nobody told him what he's wearing. We'll figure it out later. Hey, thanks for watching our show on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. Thanks for watching us on Verizon 32 in Bethel Park and all the way from Nemacolin to Cranberry, Wexford, and all points in between. We appreciate that. Our Facebook page, because of you watching and liking our page, you know I ask. If you haven't liked Pittsburgh Sportsline, including you guests, you got to like it. I got a smartphone. I can check. 6,871 likes. Thank you very much. This old dog learned a few tricks about promoting and asking to like our page. And we're the only ones promoting local sports in Pittsburgh. So if you want to learn about different groups and people here in Pittsburgh doing great things, tune in to Pittsburgh Sportsline. This TV show will be on Wednesday night after it gets edited and graphics get put in at the studio. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock to 8, Verizon 32 in the greater Pittsburgh area. And that other thing all of you know about, YouTube. We got over 660 TV shows on YouTube over our 8 years. So we're very blessed out of BPTV to do this. And we like promoting local sports people. I can talk about it all day. Smoke and Jim can exaggerate about it all day and also promote Gateway. But other than that, we're pretty straightforward with this. And we're going to start our show with What's on Your Mind. It's sponsored by Skeets Lewandowski of Skeets Service Station. He's in Finleyville, 7 miles from my house. He has a buffet that I don't go to anymore because I got this thing called a kidney transplant. 4 months ago to the day, Friday the 13th, September 13th, I got a brand new kidney from my 28-year-old son. He's doing well. I'm at 110% because that's how great I feel. The doctors at Montefiore are amazed with what's going on. Just got a great report. I don't have to go back for 6 weeks. Don't have to do blood tests until every 3rd week. So it's truly a blessing. Thanks for all your prayers and good wishes. I appreciate that to all my friends and fans. Thank you again. And Skeet Service Station works on anything and everything that runs on gas. Weed whackers, lawnmowers, cars, trucks, boats, you name it. He works on it. He's an honest mechanic. I know in this day and age it's rare, but just tell him Al Levine, the talking machine, sent you to Skeet Service Station. You can call him 724-348-4715. Give him a call and go see him. Some of our photographer, Frank Fabus, has gone out there to get a lawnmower. Bill Franciscus got a lawnmower work. Many other people have been out there. We're going to start this show right now.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
here, don't break it.
You got to see Levine. Thank everybody for coming out. I tell you, this is the happiest day of my life because my friend, the Chin, Bill Cowher, finally got into the NFL Hall of Fame. After 15 years, 161 victories, 2-time NFL Head Coach of the Year awards, and a Super Bowl, the Chin finally gets in. After coaching Rod Woodson, Alan Faneca, Casey Hampton, Troy Polamalu, Big Ben, Hines Ward, Heath Miller, Joey Porter, James Harrison, the Chin finally gets in. After coaching and developing head coaches like Dom Capers, Jim Haslett, Marvin Lewis, Dick LeBeau, Shane Gailey, Mike Malarkey, Ken Wisenhunt, and Bruce Arians, the Chin finally gets in. Chuck Noll and Bill Cowher are the only 2 coaches in Pittsburgh Steelers history that have winning records against the New England Patriots. Bill Cowher began his head coaching career in Pittsburgh. He ended his head coaching career in Pittsburgh because Bill Cowher knows once you go black, In gold, you never go back. So now when it comes to the NFL Hall of Fame, the Chin is finally in.
Is he done yet? Because I'm deaf. This year, 8 years, I truly can't hear. And if it sounded something like the Chin is in, he's been saying that for so many years. I never thought it would happen. I always thought his clock management would keep him out of the Hall of Fame. Notorious. It's a Steeler tradition. And a little disclaimer, if Smokin' Jim doesn't bring up the race card in the first minute of the show, something's wrong. I don't care what color, creed, or anything you are. You're all welcome on our show. I'm not even going to say what color you might be, Smokin' Jim. But thank you. Well, I was watching football this weekend, and it was odd because there were no Patriots in there. Not that I don't like the Patriots, but I don't like the Patriots. And I'm not as entertaining as Smokin' Jim, so I'm just going to say I saw one of the greatest young quarterbacks in the league come back, and I happened to have my smartphone on, and some knuckleheads posting one of the greatest comebacks in sports history, being 24 points down, coming back. Well, I had told my son I think he can do it before he started to rally, because he was going over to the other players one play at a time. We can do this. We've done it before. And guess what? All of a sudden, the football gods, or maybe the bookmakers and the fixed sports, started having some plays come their way. But Mahomes showed me 51 points on the scoreboard. Unbelievable. 4 touchdown passes in the second quarter alone tied the record of, I forget that quarterback that won a Super Bowl, Doug Williams, one of your big heroes over the years. You can talk about him another day during Black History Month, but that's on the agenda here. But I just enjoyed the football. There were great games. And then another thing, not that I don't like the Baltimore Ravens, but I don't like them. And they got beat by Tennessee, which, tell me somebody in the room that thought Tennessee would beat the Patriots and the Ravens on their way to a potential Super Bowl. I don't believe in them yet, because I had a little 7-year-old guest on my last Tuesday night show. Dave Cable's son, Sam, predicted the Super Bowl champs will be Kansas City Chiefs. And Andy Reid will get his first Super Bowl, even though he's been looking for him, because he's had a great career. But great week of football. Can't wait for the next games. And we're going to bring up our guests starting right after this. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you very much.
Oh, he's busy over there.
No, well, I only eat like 1 or 2 pieces because of this transplant. I try to watch what I eat. Smokin' Jim's on a seafood diet. Any food he sees, he eats it. And I'm not going to call you seafood. No, since that's what your people you train call you, seafood.
Yeah, seafood. It's
And explain that. And first, tell them your name.
My name's Dale Steigerwald. I'm the owner and head instructor at Academy of Wing Chun in New Brighton. And the term seafood is actually a traditional name for a Chinese martial arts teacher.
You gave me that explanation when we talked for a short hour.
Yeah, for that short
I
hour.
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
it was real quick.
No, it was very informative, and I was excited because one of our fans of the show, Serenity, told me to call you, gave me your number.
Yeah.
And I said I would, and we had a great conversation.
Yeah,
definitely.
So big thanks to Serenity for getting us on the show.
I had to
getting us
mention
together
that
here.
early in this. And you came all the way from New Brighton, 45 minutes away, and he wasn't speeding, so I give him credit.
Oh, never. Just take the straight
Understand.
line the whole way.
We're all law-abiding citizens except for the
well.
government name, I don't know what it is, of Smokin' Jim.
There may be a greater wisdom there.
No, but you should see him drive. I have to sometimes tell him the minimum speed is like 40 miles an hour because he's not hitting it.
Oh.
But we'll move on from that. Tell us, when did you get started with this?
Yeah, so
Because I'm interested.
actually as a young guy, I was always
How old?
17. So I was always a football guy, a track guy.
You got nice size to you.
Oh, thank you. It seems like sometimes the size wants to go the opposite way now, to my disadvantage, right?
Why do you get to be this old? It's a battle.
Oh, I'll know when I'm there.
Yes, you will.
So,
Amen to that.
So I actually met my first teacher. It's kind of an interesting story.
Tell it. I'm a story guy.
So back in 1996, August 96, my cousin Mike and I, we were stopped at the Sheets in Baden, and some guy out of nowhere comes up between the gas pumps, asked me if I ever trained in martial arts before.
He just come up and asked you?
He just came up and asked me.
Wow.
And
God works in mysterious ways.
absolutely. And he'd asked me, and I said no, and like I didn't know what this guy wanted. I was kind of,
Yeah, taken aback.
quite a bit. You
Yeah.
know, someone comes up and says, "Do you ever train martial arts?" I was thinking, what did I do to this guy?
Right.
So, I'm talking.
He's going to tell you.
Yeah, he was trying to get my number, I guess. That's what I thought at the time. So he came up and started talking to me, asked me if I'd ever had any interest in studying martial arts. And my initial thing was I said, yes. And he goes, "Are you still?" I said, "No." He says, "What happens?" I said, "I turned 10 years old." I didn't believe in martial arts at that point in my life. I'd been around enough times, and, being an athlete, I was always big, I was always strong, and I was always fast. Those were my advantages.
Those are great
And
assets.
They can be, but they're not everything. Martial arts technique is going to matter more than anything.
Sure, there's a discipline to it.
There is. So my first teacher, Dino Relos, he came and talked with me, and he was asking me questions if I was interested, whatever. I had no idea what this guy wanted.
Really?
Yeah, and he said to me, he goes, "Well, is it possible that you would be interested in learning martial arts now?" And I said, "Maybe." And he said, "Well, what would convince you?" I looked at him, 17 years old, cocky,
Sure.
I look him right in the eye and I go, "Well, you'd have to prove it works." And he goes, "Great. When I'm done pumping gas, meet me over there by my truck."
Wow.
So he points off in the distance, and there's his truck. You know what it was? Ice cream truck. He drove for Billy's Ice Cream. So that was my first interaction with him. I'm like, okay, this is just weird. You know, like, when am I going to wake up here?
Right.
So I go back in. My cousin Mike, he kind of ducked on me and ran off into the sheets. I come
he
in.
figures this crazy guy's
Yeah,
bothering you.
I don't know. I'm like, hey man, and gave him the spiel, and he's like, well, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm gonna go over there and meet him.
Yeah.
And
He goes, "What ice cream do you like?"
he did. Yeah, literally.
How could he not?
Yeah,
he
was
sounded like a nice guy.
He's a super good guy.
How'd I guess?
Yeah, and I mean, even beyond that, I mean, he's just really good dude. Got me started.
When did you go? Soon? You went
Yeah,
soon to
actually,
be
the
with
story
him?
the story
No,
gets
because that's where I wanted to hear more.
the story gets all that much funnier. So I met with him, and he did prove it several times in a row because I had to be sure. And he gave me a second ice cream. And he said, "If you're really interested, come and meet
Right by
with
his
me tomorrow."
truck, he tossed
right
you
by
down.
his truck, yeah, in Sheets parking lot.
That's what I wanted to
Yeah,
hear.
you can't do that now with a 17-year-old.
No.
Back then you could get away with it a little
They'd
bit
have
more.
the police there
Absolutely.
because their cell phone would be right there.
Yep. So, he said, if you're interested, this is my address. Meet me at my house tomorrow. So I
Wow,
went.
you were a believer.
Yeah, well, it was really interesting because when I got there, the story kind of got even funnier because no sooner did I meet him and I went and saw my cousin Mike's younger brother.
Yeah.
My cousin Mike's younger brother, Nick, had hit him in the nose with an apple from standing up on the hillside.
No.
So this was up on a house in Ambridge, right? So
Right.
he's just up there with his friends, and the ice cream man comes around, and they just start whipping apples at him. Caught him right in the
And
nose.
he hit him.
He hit him. So then I go in, and I meet with him, and I'm talking with him, and I'm like, yeah, this is really cool. And I was very interested, genuinely interested.
Sure, 'cause he showed you how
'cause
to
he
be
showed me.
successful.
Yes. And I said, but there's one thing I want to talk to you about because I don't want it to be a problem later on. And he goes, "What's that?" I go, "You got hit in the nose with an apple yesterday." He just went silent. I'm like, "Oh no, this is going to get real bad." And I said, it was my, it was Mike. It was his younger brother Nick that hit you with it. And then I got the whole story. It was just craziness,
Wow.
but
that is just to happen that way when you're going there.
Yeah.
And hear about that.
Yeah, I think it was the day after or something, but it was just it was bizarre.
Thanks
So-
for sharing that. I
Yeah.
love stories. I want to dig a little deeper. Since you said you were an athlete, when did you get started playing any sport?
I think I was
Think back.
10 years old when I started playing football.
Okay.
You know,
and what got you interested in that?
Just like you said, I was a big guy. I was
Sure.
big from a young age. I stopped growing when I was 14 years old.
So you were advanced.
Yeah, I mean,
So you had
physically, yeah.
your dexterity and balance and things like
Yeah.
that with you?
So, yeah.
Because a lot of kids I know, I had friends that were 6'11", and basketball they were a little awkward, but by their senior year they had finally grown in and developed their body to be workable.
Yeah, I was. I'll say I was always, blessed,
Yeah.
lucky, however you want to see it.
I call it blessed.
I call it blessed too.
Yeah.
To have the opportunity, or to be a bit of a natural
Sure.
athlete. Training had to come along with it because you
And
can't.
you started with football?
And I started
Did
with
you play
football.
anything else?
Not until junior high when I started doing basketball and track.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And by my 9th grade year, I was kind of done with basketball.
Really? You didn't see a future there?
You know what? It wasn't even that I didn't see a future there. It was that I was young, and I had an issue with a coach. And, looking back at the time, I thought he was wrong. And looking back, I always look when I see young people, like they have an issue with a coach and they say they're going to quit. And I always look at them and like, oh, don't ever give up on what you love because of someone else. Don't ever do it. Don't ever let someone else stop you from going for what you want. Because I gave that up, and, I don't deal much in the way of regrets, but if I were to talk about what some of my regrets are, that would be one of them.
Sure.
It's not a major regret.
High school is so fleeting, you don't realize it.
Right. It's forever when you're young.
I was a good pitcher, and I was playing football, and Keystone Oaks needed players, so I became a center, and I couldn't make the baseball team, even though I played Dormont and Castle Shannon, and the kids kept saying, hey, Al, how come you can't make the baseball team? And I was a smart guy there. I go, they don't want me. They want me on the line for football. And I became the starting center my senior year, but I was still pitching great in the neighborhoods. Beachview wanted me to pitch for them, Dormont, and all these others, so I know what it's like firsthand to have that happen to you. Because there are different cliques and there are different things coaches look for, and maybe you aren't exactly what they think with some of those sports. Yeah. So they're going to work on the guys that fit in better, like a Smoking Jim who was a great running back, and would just keep playing football.
I look at it, and I honestly, from where I stand now, I think the coach was trying to be fair.
Yeah.
And
that's why I brought it up, because sometimes you don't see it.
I couldn't see it as a kid.
Yeah.
And
when you get the adult brain, then you start to understand.
And then my high school coach, he asked me to come out to play when I hit 10th grade, because we had a 7th, 8th, and 9th grade team.
Oh, okay.
And he asked me to come out for tryouts, and I had just, you know how it is. You're kind of like in that. I went out, did a thing, he said something to me, and I was just like, you know what, this was a mistake, and I walked away from it. They went on to win a state championship without me, so, who's it on, right?
What school were you in?
That was Quaker Valley.
Quaker Valley,
yeah.
Wow.
So they went on to have tremendous success. So they showed me they didn't need me after all.
Where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in Bell Acres-Borough.
Okay.
You know where that is?
No. Explain it.
So back when I was growing up, it was really kind of like the backwoods of the Quaker Valley School District. It was like somewhat the middle of nowhere.
Way off the beaten path.
Somewhere between, we could say, like Swickley and like Wexford and that general area.
Because I know that area a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's like tucked in there.
Yeah, it's still relatively rural, though there's been a few developments in the last 20 or so years that went in there. But when I was young, it was pretty sparse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were a little farm boy in the neighborhood.
Kind of, sort of ish, I was more the guy who took care of everybody else's lawns, but really? I wasn't really a farm boy. But I did a lot of that growing up.
Oh, well, that's good, no doubt. And where do you teach at? Where's that located?
What's that?
In New Brighton.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to at least get that out for the folks, because if they're interested, like I am about you, I want to know where and when, and when do you do this? Yeah,
so we're located at 424 3rd Avenue in New Brighton. Kind of back corner edge of New Brighton, just before you get to Beaver Falls.
Okay.
We've been in our same location now for, I think, 12 years.
12 years?
So, yeah, we've been there quite a while.
You don't even look that old.
I try my best.
You're doing a good job.
Good.
You fooled me.
Good. I'm working.
Do you have a phone number you can say, or a website, or anything like that?
Actually, I have both.
And we'll cover them both.
All right, we'll get them both.
I told you these would be easy questions.
Yeah.
How am I doing?
You're throwing me softballs the whole way, man. Like, you're just coming across.
I was a great pitcher.
They're just
I used to
across.
believe in the strikeout. Now I believe in letting them hit home runs.
Yeah.
Here's the home run phone number.
Okay, we can be reached at 724-847-3300.
I'm getting old. Please repeat that.
Again?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You want me to be louder?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to hurt his ears, so I'll kind of
back.
I'll do it like this, right?
Okay.
724-847-3300.
I appreciate your sarcasm.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
And website?
Our website is ilovewingchun.com, so it's...
Tell us again.
I got to.
We got
you want
to
me to
spell it.
Oh, yeah, I better spell it out, right?
Because we're in Pittsburgh, we slur all the words.
We do.
Yeah.
And the spelling thing is kind of weird with what I teach. So
I figure you made it unique.
Actually, I didn't make it unique.
Who did?
Great Grandmaster Yip Man.
I needed somebody because I know they would.
Yeah, most people were familiar with him, are familiar from one out of two things. He was Bruce Lee's only formal teacher back in Hong Kong.
Oh, that's great. I didn't know that. Thank you.
And there's been a series of movies. One of them just released a couple of weeks ago called Yip Man. They just released the fourth and final one of the series.
Fan.
Have you seen the Yip Man movies?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, make sure you get a copy.
I'm going to have to look at those.
Yeah, get an address from you. I'll get you a copy.
Because I love all the things Bruce Lee did.
Yeah.
And how he was as a person, too.
Yeah. And I haven't seen the fourth movie yet, but there's some people have hinted to me that it does surround around Bruce Lee a bit. Not sure if that's so because I haven't seen it yet, but that's the spoiler that I got.
Sure. And
so
we tend to wander, so we'll get to that website now.
Oh, now, okay. it's ilovewingchun.com, so ilovewingchun.com. And
thank you. I heard it the first time.
You did? Oh.
Yeah, I'm good.
Well done.
You cleared up that ear.
Good.
It's the left one I'm deaf in.
It's the left one, okay.
Smoking.
Well, yeah, he's
You heard him.
I heard him over there.
And I'm sitting next
They heard
to
him over there.
They've complained across the street in the summer.
Yeah?
Because they go, who's yelling at you? I go, no, he's just talking.
Yeah, he's just having a good time.
And he is.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell us about you call it a gym or?
Well, it's a martial arts school. The Chinese is Mogun, but
Mogun?
Yeah.
How'd I do on it?
You did great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then let's talk about the Mogun.
Okay. We're located in New Brighton. We take students
What
from
time?
Our youth students train from 5:45 till 6:45 on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
Our adult class training starts at I changed I changed hours recently. Right? So I'm kind of going through some things.
I know. Well, I'm asking you a bunch of things. You're
yeah.
thinking, what's he going to say next?
Our adult
What time?
class. Yeah, there we go. Our adult class on Monday night starts at 6, and on Tuesday and Thursday starts at 7.
Then you're missing a class.
Yeah, we don't have Wednesday night class.
No,
sorry.
this is Monday night.
What's that? Oh
said
yeah,
Monday
I am missing
I'm
a class
honored.
tonight.
I'm
yeah,
honored.
yeah. So no, I got some good people back there. They can.
Okay, so
they
they
can
carry
hold
on?
Yeah, I've had
I
students. who've been
figured
with me
you're
for
a
quite
mentor
while.
to others.
Well, I try to be.
I figured that.
You know.
Definitely. You seem like a really good guy.
thank
and
you.
a good seafood, so I
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
No, you've educated us about
Yeah.
this. So check out this great place that
Thank you.
Dale runs. It just sounds like a great place in the community. And I like the things taking the young kids off the streets, helping the adults get in better shape.
Yeah.
And that means a lot. And you look in great shape for
Thank
whatever
you.
your age is. I appreciate that.
41.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean the whole purpose at the end of the day is to just improve the quality of your life, you know, and that's really what we strive for, is helping people, you know, have the best opportunity to live a life and to become free and relaxed.
Excellent. You heard it here. Can you do anything for my friend here?
Well, what do you want me to do for your friend?
Well, he had a quadruple bypass the year before, and they took 57 pounds of fluid out. He's gained it all back.
Oh.
And when we leave the studio, he goes, "Hey, machine, look what I have. A bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken."
All right, yeah, so here, I'll do something for him. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, hey, thanks a lot.
Thanks
I
for
really
being a great
appreciate it.
guest.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate your time.
All right, good
Take
brother
care.
handshake, Peter.
There we go.
He can handle it.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Welcome aboard, Andy.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you for having me back again.
We appreciate it. Great Muay Thai fights.
Yeah.
We learned a lot about Muay Thai. First
Yeah.
time I ever saw him. Talked to the referee, Chip Snyder, about it, who did a great job
Yep.
with handling the fighters. You were busy all night long.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how you even saw the fights, but it was a great card. We saw a lot of great action that night.
Yeah. You know what I was really excited about?
And how many did Stout win that night? Because I kept saying Stout in the corner.
So I think we won. I believe we went 3-2, because we. That's something I really strive for when I'm doing the matchmaking.
Yes.
Is making fair fights for everybody. Like I think like
Put it
over
like
our
this,
lifetime.
I can't believe the equality of the level that you had there. I was impressed
Yeah.
when I saw your people fighting all these other people from all around, and they were so evenly balanced.
Yeah,
and there
that's
were some
exactly
big
it.
wins and
That's
stuff.
exactly it. Like, I mean, there's going to be knockouts when you're dealing with something like Muay Thai kickboxing, where you have punches, kicks, elbows, knees. There's so many ways to finish the fight.
We learned, right,
yeah.
Smoking?
It's so you're gonna have finishes. It's gonna happen.
It was an exciting night, I'll tell you that much.
Exactly. You know what? Actually, the state emailed me back the Monday afterwards with the results that they wrote down. They said out of those 8 fights, 5 of them could have been fight of the night. That's how
5.
So this is the state.
We
telling
thought
us-
at least 3. We're amateurs.
Yeah, apparently the state assistant AD Mike Arnese, he said that it was one of the best Muay Thai cards he's seen.
We thought
So-
it was, and it was my first one.
Yeah.
So
Well, it was
I
definitely
didn't-
the best one you've seen. Then.
Well, I know that. That's why I'm all in.
Yeah.
And then to have my best friend forever, Jamie Chesney, in the corner. with a guest that we had, Rachel, on.
Oh, yeah.
Who I said, why is she even fighting? She's only been doing it 6 months. After the first round, she really showed an improvement.
Oh, yeah.
Listening to Jamie yell what was coming, hold the hands up, follow with the 1-2, all these different comments she made. She said, how about a kick in there?
Yep.
And I kept, Jamie come to me afterwards. She goes, what'd you think? I said, you remind me of the good cornermen that I've heard.
Yeah.
No offense meant, but you remind me of the good ones who are highlighting what's coming up for your fighter and then what to do.
Yeah.
And she goes, how'd she do? I go, she was rough in the first round because it was new to her.
Exactly.
I go, when you start something, that's the worst you're going to be.
Exactly.
And she got better. She showed improvement.
Yeah, and I think that's something for a lot of fighters when they first start fighting, their first fight, there's so much adrenaline, there's so much nerves involved.
No, I believe that.
It's not, it takes them a little while to settle down and get in the groove and relax and just get into a flow of things.
When I was pitching, I would try to throw so hard the first few batters. I'm throwing the ball everywhere, the catcher's going like, whoa, hold up. That's enough of that. But yeah, that adrenaline gets pumped up and you want to do well. And I asked Rachel afterwards, I said, good luck to you. You lost, but it's what are you going to do next? She goes, I'm not quitting. I go, I know. You're going to do well the next fight. So it was great to see that. And just how everything was presented that night. Very professional setup.
Thank you.
I appreciate the hard work.
Yeah,
and I know it's hard work what you put in.
Yeah, it's fun though. It's fun. The reason why we do these fights is we want to create a venue and an opportunity for local fighters to be able to fight because there's not a lot of. Before we started doing Muay Thai shows, there really wasn't any Muay Thai kickboxing in Western Pennsylvania.
Especially in our area.
In Western Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you're right.
USK, they do a lot of kickboxing shows on the eastern side of the state.
Right.
So we have a lot of fighters that fight for them throughout the year. And then also another one, grappling fighting championships. They're in State College.
Oh, get on.
But they're
my daughter went there, so I know the place. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
4 years, she made it.
Yeah, so
beautiful campus.
Yeah, it's a great school, right?
What a facility!
Fantastic school. But
even for all you haters of Penn State, and I like Pitt and Penn State.
All the Pitt people hate it.
Well, I'm mixed because I was a Pitt fan for years, and then when my daughter went to Penn State, I become a Penn State. I go on the phone, we are, and she'd go Penn State. So we got along fine. Then I'd hang up. So we were good to go.
So
that's how I operate. Yeah. Hey.
So, but yeah, there's not a lot of opportunities out here. So that's why we started doing shows 4 years ago, and it's been really successful. I mean, every single one has been. They're really exciting.
And it keeps growing.
It keeps growing, yeah.
Because we saw your MMA fights. They were great. Nice crowd.
Those were good. Nice crowd. Yeah. And the
we'd like to see some more fights.
Maybe
but we find out with boxers and stuff, some of these guys talk about a lot of stuff, and then they don't come through and fight because they're undefeated and they're going against an undefeated guy who they're afraid of. And when you're afraid of somebody, I was always taught, just go compete. You're playing a sport because you love that sport. If you're a boxer, go out and box. If you're Muay Thai, MMA, go out and fight. And if you lose, guess what?
It's
I
experience.
learned more from losing than I ever learned from winning.
Absolutely.
You'll come back stronger because now you're more determined, and the water in Pittsburgh makes us want to compete even more. Because we hate to lose.
That is
true. And we're spoiled by our teams.
That is
true. I believe
true.
black and gold, but when they suck, like this past year with all the injuries, that happens. So, and your events are great.
Well, thank you.
And then you were on time tonight. So normally you teach. Tell them what you teach.
So I'm an assistant. Yeah, I'm an assistant instructor at the Stout training. I manage the Stout PGH location in Cranberry, and I'm assistant instructor. And
thanks for making the trip from Cranberry last time.
Yeah, thank you.
You just made it in.
Yeah. So I teach a lot of the kids classes, and then I'm an assistant instructor. I teach a couple of the adult classes per week as well.
You mix it up a little.
Yeah. So we teach. I teach Brazilian
Jiu-Jitsu. You must like it then.
I do. I love Jiu-Jitsu. It's great. And then also the nice thing about our Cranberry location is not like a satellite location or an affiliate or anything like that. So like Warren comes up once a week and teaches.
You mean the guy that owns it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he's like a mystery man.
I know, right? Mike Wilkins, our head assistant instructor, another black belt.
He had been on
Brazilian
a guest
Jiu-Jitsu.
on our show.
Yes.
And I wanted to talk, since you brought his name up, His brother.
Oh, his brother's.
I didn't realize that he was an MMA fighter and
He
a
is
good one.
so talented.
But with Muay Thai, it's a little different. And he did one takedown that I had heard that the elbows are supposed to be used because Chip Snyder had told us that. He did that, and people were yelling that it was illegal.
Yeah, no.
And he goes, no, it's legal.
Good. It's good.
So I was impressed by that move because he's not a real big guy.
Oh, I know.
But he took that guy down.
Dude,
Smoking Jim actually jumped out of his seat.
Well, yeah, he was excited for the
he's
Gateway.
a big guy.
He was excited for the Gateway grad.
Well, I didn't want
AJ
to
went to
mention
Gateway
that.
High School.
I didn't want to mention that too loud because he was screaming.
Oh, I know.
He went crazy for that. The Wilkins are both tough guys.
They're tough guys.
There's no quit in their game.
Oh, I know. They're tough guys.
And
So yeah,
Adam didn't get the win, but I don't know how he lost.
Um,
Because he was aggressive.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
even over the top aggressive, the way I saw it. And I'm purely an amateur.
Yeah.
I mean, with my face, I'm not getting hit by
So-
these guys. Please.
I think that's just part of combat sports a little bit too. There is a subjective element to it, to where when there's not like a scoreboard. There's not points you can score.
Right.
It's not like a football.
I'm
not
friends,
like a football game.
I'm friends with judges in boxing.
Yeah.
And we watch these fights, and they're sitting in the 3 spots. And then afterwards, we see a fight. Clearly, this kid won.
And then
And we asked, and he lost. And I've asked judges straight up. I go, "What happened?" They go, "You're like the rest of these. You don't know what you're even watching." I go, "Well, tell me some of the scoring."
yeah.
And they go, "Well, this kid outscored the other guy, even though he got hit pretty hard a few times. He didn't control the fight."
Yeah.
And that gives me a little bit of pause, but not much.
Nah,
I'm
not
still
much.
going. I'm old school. If it looks like a win, it's a win.
Yeah. I mean, I have to.
I mean, that's how simple I am.
With me being the promoter, I have to be
You got to be diplomatic.
diplomatic. Yeah. But I kind of saw the fight going.
Thanks for that Duquesne speech.
I saw the fight going the same way you did, though.
Okay.
So yeah, I thought AJ probably
Because
should've
I
got the
listen
edge
to
there.
people and I watch the footwork and the angles that they take
Exactly.
and some of the maneuvers they
Yeah.
make. I'll ask
Yeah.
because I want to know.
Yeah, you wanna
I know
be better
boxing.
educated.
Yeah, I know boxing because I had friends that boxed.
AJ
Now
boxes too, actually too.
Does he
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Wow.
He's had now 2 boxing fights. I think he's gonna do he's fighting Pittsburgh Golden Gloves this year.
Is he?
Yeah, we actually have a lot of our
That'll be
amateur,
great.
a lot of our amateur
Because we do a
MMA
lot
fighters
of
doing Golden
announcing
Gloves.
of Golden Gloves.
Oh, really?
fights.
Okay.
So we might see that.
You'll
We're
see a
not
lot of our
sure
people there.
because the legendary Jimmy Savetic, who ran the boxing, died.
Oh,
so we're
okay.
not sure who's carrying on.
Okay.
His girlfriend Gloria is supposed to, but
Okay.
there's been some drop off in the
Gotcha.
fights. But we usually announce
Okay.
boxing. You love how we
Okay.
talk about it because
Oh, for
Smoking
sure.
Jim worries about what they wear. If you have lime green shoes on, you never lose.
Okay, we're gonna let
That's
AJ know
it's
that.
a tip. Lime green
shoes. Lime green
he
shoes.
told that, and a couple times they did win, and the one time they lost, he ignored me. So
Fantastic.
That's a little tip I had to give
Fantastic.
you. But no, that's great to
Yeah.
hear that he's boxing.
Yeah, he's boxing.
We see a lot of the MMA guys because they do a lot of the upright fighting like boxers. And then some of them get into boxing and don't realize there's different movements that
There
you
is.
have to make.
There is.
Like there's an angle and different
Yep.
ways that you hit. And some of them don't catch on to that.
Yeah.
And then others have
Yep.
and have done well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It's AJ works a lot with Bob Meese, Cody Garbrandt's
he's a great
uncle,
guy,
and he's taught AJ a ton of boxing. It's funny
I'm
too. 'cause
friends with him. He's a great
yeah,
guy.
it's funny too because I haven't
don't
I haven't
know.
fought, I haven't fought in 3 years. I'm done
Right.
fighting MMA. I mean,
are you?
I have a promoter's license now. I can't fight MMA anymore.
Oh, really? Is that
yeah,
how
yeah.
that
They
works?
won't let you. They won't let you fight
You
and
mean
promote.
Warren cut you right out of the fights?
Nah, no. But even then, like Bob will like bring me into practice, and he'll
Yeah.
be like he'll be teaching me stuff. So I've learned stuff just from
around.
being around, helping AJ out in
Yeah.
camps and stuff
No,
like
Bob's
that. Yeah.
a great guy. With what he does and what he's done with
Oh, I
his
know.
nephew.
With his nephew.
Unbelievable.
Cody's fighting again in a couple months.
That's
too.
what I heard.
In,
He told
Columbus,
me that.
Ohio. Yeah.
He's coming back to
Yep.
where he grew up.
Yep.
like.
Yep. He's training in Ohio. Hopefully he'll come out to Pittsburgh and train with us a
No,
couple
that's
times
awesome.
too. So yeah,
he was
it'll be really
he
cool.
was quite the stud
Yeah.
here when
Oh, yeah.
he come up.
Oh, I know. He's
Yeah,
He's
just his
really
moves and
talented.
his
He's
kicks.
really talented.
Wow.
I think if he can get back to the fighter he was when he was coming up, he can definitely win the title
Sure,
again
and
too.
people run into trouble.
Oh, yeah.
People get injuries. You know, that stuff happens. It's what do
Exactly.
you do next?
Yep,
That's what I always
exactly.
ask people in life.
Exactly.
What are you going to do next? And they go, what do you mean? I go, you're going to fight or you're just quitting?
Yeah,
And that's how simple it is.
that is how simple it is.
Yeah,
It really
no,
is.
that's great. Thanks for explaining what you do. When did you get started in this business?
I started jiu-jitsu in 2012. Warren was expanded.
and you've
gym in
only been doing this
2013.
8 years, and you're
Yeah,
into this.
I wrestled. Well, I wrestled for 8 years before
Where
starting
at?
jiu-jitsu. Up in Buffalo, New York, where I grew up.
That's where
at.
you're from. I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
you're out of town. Yeah,
I
we
wrestled
talked
at.
about that.
I wrestled
a lot
at.
of snow up there.
Yeah, wrestled for 2 years at Niagara Community College. Came down here. Came to the Ohio Valley to finish up school.
Oh, did you?
And the wrestling team that I was going to transfer to had some problems with Title IX. Didn't happen, so I was like, I need to find something to do.
Sure, yeah,
so
you were an active guy.
I found jiu-jitsu, I found MMA, met Warren, met Mike Wilkins, and
Get out,
and an
that's-
hour after, or about a year after I started, an opportunity came for me to start working with them at the at Stout.
You're
PGH.
kidding.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah,
it happened.
So that's how it
I
happened.
never knew.
Yeah,
I
it
had
worked-
to ask
it-
you. You've
it
been
worked
on
out really
5
well.
times.
I've told you before.
You have.
Al, I've told Al before,
Hold it.
haven't I?
He'd
Haven't I?
agree with anything.
I know, he would.
You
he
could
would.
just lie. Tell him you changed your name. He'll tell you. Oh, I know.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Your name's
He does
Larry
that
now.
with people we've met.
Oh, yeah.
Because first of all, he doesn't remember their name.
Oh, I know.
So he's just
We were
like
talking
that.
about this earlier.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
We can't help it. But look at the smile he has.
Yep.
It's one of the greatest smiles in media.
Yep.
And he's truly one of the nicest guys you ever meet
Absolutely.
in media. There's
Absolutely.
nobody like him. We're best friends, and I'm not picking on him. He just makes it easy. Look at him. No, but thank you for being on.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for sharing that
All right,
again.
thank you very much,
I
yeah.
appreciate repetitive stuff because that's how you hammer that point home.
Yep.
And you did well. We can't wait for your next event. Tell
Absolutely.
us when it is.
Our next event is May 3rd. It's going to be at Ace Hotel. It's our pro grappling super fights. They've always
We may
been
have
really
to go.
excited. Yeah, you guys got
Where's
to come
Ace
to that. It's in East Liberty. It's trying to remember the exact
That's okay.
address.
I know East Liberty. I
yeah.
was just there
Oh, okay.
at Indigo Hotel,
Okay.
which may be nearby.
It
there.
is nearby. It's nearby, yeah.
Because I was at a Jessica Lee performance
Okay.
there. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so
definitely.
we'll have you out in May.
we'll come out. We
All right, thank
appreciate
you.
the media
Thank you very
passes.
much. Yeah,
And
thank you.
We'll get you and Dan Bogan back.
Absolutely.
In April.
Yes.
Plan on that.
That'll be fun.
Spring break.
Yep.
I'm Warren Stout.
And what do you own?
I own Stout Training Pittsburgh, Stout PGH. We're a mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai school, and we have locations in Cranberry Township and also close to downtown in the Strip District.
Yeah, we're at on the Strip District.
We're at 26th and Railroad. So if
Okay, I know right where that's at. It's
Yeah.
up from Permanis.
yeah, a little
Permanis is down the street
right,
a little bit,
yeah.
19th or something.
Yeah, they're down toward downtown. We're a little bit out. We've been in a strip for a while now. It's been about 7.5 years, and we've moved around a little bit in the strip, but we've always tried to stay
Sure.
there. I
You
love
like
the
the presence there.
I love the Strip District. It was before I even started the schools in Pittsburgh. I was coming down to the Strip District.
Where are you
and,
from?
I grew up northwestern Pennsylvania. Brookville. I went to high school.
I've
Finished high
heard
school.
of Brookville.
It's north on 28. So you go up 28 about an hour and 20 minutes, and it's a rural small town. up
Yeah,
there.
where'd you go to high school?
Brookville High School.
Of course. Just checking.
Yeah.
When did you get started in sports?
So
And what did you play?
wrestling. That was my sport. Yeah, and I was a.
How'd you get started with that?
My grandfather was a wrestling coach at Brookville. He
That
was,
helps.
yeah, and he was a great he was a
Legendary
coach. He's in the Hall of Fames and for coaching. Built a great program. Brookville's one of the best programs in the state. Perennially, always they're all. Yeah, I mean
I'm remiss. I didn't know.
We've won
Titles.
several state titles, and that a lot of that. I mean, there were some other great coaches there too, but who built it was my grandfather Les Turner. So
You're kidding. Thanks for mentioning his name.
He's 86, and
God bless him.
He was down in the Strip District teaching a seminar at 86.
At your place?
At our place, yeah. He was wrestling around with.
Is he moving around?
Oh yeah, he can move good. He's fast.
Are you
still.
serious?
Yeah.
He still got it.
Yeah, and
isn't that great?
We posted a video of him hitting a technique on my little brother, who's 15 years younger than me, but a good jiu-jitsu competitor, also works at the gym. My grandfather Les hit a takedown on Logan, and it went.
That's hilarious.
86, at 86 years old, it went viral. I think it had tens of thousands of views and stuff
Really?
like that.
That is so cool. Thanks for
On the
sharing
internet. So that's he kind of. It was a family thing. I got started in wrestling. Loved wrestling. Wrestled in Brookville as a 2-time state runner-up in Pennsylvania in high school, and then I wrestled at Lehigh University in college.
I'm familiar with Lehigh.
Yeah.
What got you there?
Just a
Their
good
program.
Yeah,
in
they're
school.
good. Well, at the time, the head coach was the U.S. Olympic coach. Also,
That helps.
And and they had a great. I mean, I'd like to say it was a good school too, but I went for the wrestling. So, to be honest,
Honesty is golden on Pittsburgh Sportsline, except for smoking Jim Frazier. So you can be honest, my friend. And it's your first time here, so we appreciate that.
So yeah, I mean,
so you had a great career doing that.
Yeah,
to put it mildly.
Well, my career wasn't that spectacular. I mean, I was a good, I was a good wrestler. Yeah, but it was.
You were competitive.
Oh yeah, I was good. I mean, you had to be just to be on the team at Lehigh.
Did you have fun?
I did. I had a blast. It was amazing. And Lehigh, we finished 5th in the country, Division I that year. So it was my senior year. So it was great. And then I 2 days later I was on a plane to Brazil. I started jiu-jitsu. 2 days later I started.
How
in Brazil.
does that even happen?
So that was.
I need to hear how and why.
Well, it was really
because that's a great story to go to Brazil.
Yeah, and it was so, especially back then. This was before all the popularity of like the UFC and it was before social media, so this is gonna date us a little bit, but
Put it like this: you're still younger than me. I understand that. I'm not asking your age.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm the same as one of your previous guests. I'm
Dale.
41. Yeah,
That's not bad.
So yeah,
I got you by
Dale
20,
and I are the same
I got you
age.
by 22 years. I'm okay with that.
So this was before social media, but there was forums, internet forums, and one of my teammates at Lehigh found Hollis Gracie, who the Gracie family was
legendary.
Yeah, they're
even I know about it. And I'm not in the sport.
Martial arts, they're one of the first families of martial arts, and so
the founders of a lot of that stuff.
The founders of the UFC,
right?
The founder of the UFC and the family, and so one of the family members, Hollis Gracie, posted on a forum that he wanted wrestlers to help him with his takedowns. So my friend actually found it, and we applied and. I'm friends.
That's why you went down there.
I went down. Hollis picked me up at the airport in Brazil.
Kidding. How cool was that?
Yeah, it was. And so I lived with him. We lived with him for that summer.
House.
Yeah, and trained
what
all.
What an experience for a graduate from wrestling.
Oh, it was amazing. and so here's the kind of bringing it full circle to Pittsburgh. Hollis is coming on. Andy, what's it? January 24th.
Wow.
Hollis, my first teacher, he's coming here to do a seminar. He's been here before. We're still good friends, and he actually lives in New York City now. So. He's that was how I got started.
The Amazon's not very good down there, so you got to watch how those fires are.
Yeah, it's
that could drive you away.
Yeah. But he
just speaking out loud there.
He was Hollis was my first teacher, and then I went to New York City, and I was with Henzo Gracie, and that's the name of our school. We're part of Henzo, and he was one of the
Thanks for filling in the blanks before I could ask.
Yes.
But I just wanted to know because I figured you got in young.
Yeah.
And you fell in love with it because you have this stout thing going on, and Smoking Jim found out that's your name.
Yeah.
He didn't know that anybody would be named Stout. I think it's a good name.
Well, I it's my last name, but I thought, and it's also, you can.
It's a
description
thing.
Of a sport that,
You're very stout for a stout.
Right.
Sorry to be redundant, but you are. And you have some stout men in the corner, and women too.
For sure. But what I just wanted to say something about that too, because like martial arts, you say, I just put my name on it because I wanted to see my name, and it wasn't that. It was like it's a kind of a different thing. I think in the past, you see the old Pittsburgh businesses, they often would have the founders' names on.
Yeah.
And that kind of changed around, I saw it, around the early
It was
part
a
of last
generational
century.
thing.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
And I think why they put their name on stuff is because they wanted to put their name on it. Like that was the integrity, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was, they were tying their own integrity to
And
their
the
business.
quality.
Exactly.
And all that together. That's what happened. That's how you get reputations. Hence, I was a Post-Gazette production worker before, and I created Alan Levine, the talking machine, and I branded that because I can talk. And I started this Pittsburgh Sportsline because guess what? I'm all about Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And it's a sports line that we present to people. So I'm proud of that, and I'm all in on what you're saying.
And you put your name on it too.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
thing. Yeah. That's,
Definitely. Like people go, why would you call it Pittsburgh Sportsline? Just call it Sportsline. I go, there's Pittsburgh fans all over the world.
Yeah.
I'm in almost every state and in 20 or 30 countries.
Wow.
People are on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
Because Pittsburgh fans, they live and breathe. What are the Steelers doing? What are the Pirates, even though they suck, and bottom line Bob? And what about the Penguins? Yeah, what about the Penguins? They overcame all these injuries. They're playing better than Sid would be even playing. I hate to say that, it's sacrilegious, but he's been out and they overcame that.
Well, that's a funny story about Pittsburgh too. I'm not a huge, football fan, but this is.
Well, you come from out in the sticks, so
yeah,
hour and 28 minutes to get here. Come on.
I think it's just my bandwidth. I spend a lot of time watching mixed martial arts, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, a little bit.
That's your focus.
Yeah, I have to. But I just remember I was in Panama one time at middle of nowhere in Panama,
Sure.
and on the TV was the Steelers were playing it was a Super Bowl, and there was I think 4 or 5 other groups of people there from Pittsburgh watching it with me, and I mean this was the middle of nowhere, and it was so fun, just to be around the people
crazy.
from my city.
Put it like this, I can tell you a story. I was in Acapulco in 1979.
Yeah.
And they knew we were from Pittsburgh, so all these Mexicans that work there go, "Are you a Steeler fan?"
Yeah.
And we go, "Yeah." My ex-wife and I said, "Yeah." And they go, "Do you have Steeler gear? We'll buy it." We ended up selling a couple old shirts
Just
and
buy the
jerseys.
shirts off your back.
Yeah, they
right?
were buying it. And they just loved the Steelers. They kept talking about it, and they're naming the players and all those things because we had won a few Super Bowls. And, that we won again that year. So they were pumped up.
Yeah.
No, but thanks for sharing that story. That's a great story.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you run into Pittsburgh people almost wherever you go.
Yeah, I've found I've gotten to travel a lot for my sports and other things, and you always see people from Pittsburgh, and I love wearing our gear because our colors are black and gold.
No,
and,
it's
and
a
we're
great
stout,
move.
We're stout PGH. That's what we're all about.
Look at
The
Pittsburgh
same-
Sportsline. What am I doing?
Black and same
There, I'll
thing.
give you a card since I don't know if I gave you a card.
Well,
By the way, your wife's a great photographer. I'm glad I met her the other night. And he has 2 beautiful kids. Your children are beautiful.
Oh, thank you. And my son just started wrestling, about the same age as I did. He's at Lower Borough right now, but
We won't hold that against them.
well, this is kind of something I haven't really told her.
This is a Pittsburgh Sportsline first.
It is. It actually is. We're opening our 3rd location real soon, right by Gateway High School. So,
All right.
so I need
That's
Thank
the
you.
deal I want to talk
Yeah.
about.
My ear needed that. Thank you. Thanks for the screech. I'm glad we could cover that, Warren. Thanks for putting another Pittsburgh Sportsline first.
That was I haven't that's something a lot of our members don't even know, but just because
Smoking Jim will tell them now. It'll be all over.
you guys can get the word out. But Mike, a lot of our instructors,
Wilkins.
Mike was coached out there for a long time,
Sure.
and wrestling there, and a lot of
They
them are
grew
from
up
there.
there,
They still
yeah.
live there, so it's going to be convenient for them, and I'm excited. It's just a place that there's not a lot of that out there. What we do, and
I'm sure everybody watching wants to. Nice platform.
Yeah.
You gave it to the right guy.
Yeah.
It'll be all over that.
Well,
Anything he sees, now that he knows who Stout is.
Well, you see all the great athletes coming out of there too. How about some of the wrestlers that have come out of there? It's like Iowa team, Spencer Lee, right?
Well, they have a history, sad to say, that they recruit people. They get parents' jobs and everything like that. I try to say that's in the past, but he goes, it's currently.
I think
So he doesn't lie about that. It's
think-
all current.
I think we did a little bit of that in Brookville when we had some of our state championship teams too. guys. But
well, you need some help sometimes. You only got so many people there,
right?
So
Yes.
that's understood.
Well, especially there, we didn't have very many people.
What else
there,
do you have going on in the future?
Well, Andy talked about some of the events we have.
Sure.
We're going to do another the Muay Thai event. Is
Were you
amazing.
happy with that?
Oh yeah, that was great. It was. It's always we've done quite a few of them, and I think some of the fighters that I'd like to highlight. We talked about AJ. AJ's going to be a great MMA fighter.
Yes, he sure seems like it.
And
the skills he have look off the charts.
I really think that he can go. And people
UFC.
watching him from Pittsburgh, absolutely and not even go UFC. I mean, I think that he has a chance. And this is me saying it, but also
I appreciate that.
You said Bob Meese.
Yeah.
Bob Meese has produced basically produced a UFC champion. He feels the same way. So keep an eye out for AJ. He's going to be somebody that.
I wanted to ask you about him because we were impressed with what he did.
Yeah,
and he's a smaller guy. He's not that big.
Right now, he's fighting in MMA. He's in the lightest weight class. He may or may. We're
I
not
wondered
sure.
about that.
He may move up to 135. So
Really?
Yeah.
That
possibly.
seems to be a popular weight, though.
Yeah, and
a lot of them get to that level, either coming down or going up in the weight.
Right, 130. It kind of catches
it's a catch. In the boxing world, it is.
Same.
Yeah, we see how many boxers at 135 coming up. Yeah, and some of them are cutting 15, 20 pounds.
Yeah.
To do that.
And then some of the lighter weight, like in UFC, you see some of the lighter weight will go up and challenge the 125ers will challenge the 130.
No, I know. That's what we see a lot of it. I'm sure you do more because it's day to day with what you're saying.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
yeah, he's somebody to watch. As far as some interesting people to highlight on the Muay Thai side, amateurs that people like to watch. Gabe Goldman, he teaches at our school. He's a Muay Thai fighter. I think what is he, 5-0 now? 5-0 now.
Wow.
And he's getting better every fight. Interesting thing about Gabe is he's has a full-time job. He's an engineer, so he's.
You're kidding.
Yeah, he's works a lot, and he still finds time to train all the time.
No, we found that we had a Mike Healy that I forget what kind of engineer he was, but
Francis Healy?
Yeah, Francis Healy. Yeah,
he used to train with us. Yes,
I haven't seen him in a few years, and when he told us what we did, and we go. And then you train all the time too. He goes, yeah.
Yeah.
He just took it nonchalant.
Yeah, he was a tough fighter.
He was a beast. We met his whole family. Nice family. They come across state to see him fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
And
and we met. That's why we promote guys like you, because a lot of people tell me that's such a violent octagon sport. How can you do it? I go, they're good people there, like you and I.
Yeah.
And they do good things in the community, and they're taking kids off the streets.
Yeah.
And teaching them a discipline and something to be a good citizen. So we appreciate that.
We just another thing that we just did as far as we started a program, that tragedy, to Tree of Life in Squirrel Hill, and there's been some other recent events around the country, and we have a volunteer program that we do at Yeshiva School for the high school kids there.
Oh, really?
In that community.
It. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, and then another really cool thing that happened last summer was Tyron, as far as exposing kids to this what we do. Tyron Woodley, UFC champ Tyron Woodley, came in. He comes to Pittsburgh every now and then and trains with us. He was training. He thought he had a fight. He wasn't sure at that time.
Well, like I said, things change, and somebody doesn't want to fight you.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do?
And even at that level, right? Even at the top level, it
happens because especially with all the promotions, and you got lots of money going around too.
Yeah.
Let alone the amateurs that don't want to lose a fight. So.
Yeah, and that's that's a whole different world. But like Kyron, even at that level, they can fall through. But he came in and he wanted to speak to some kids, so he brought a whole charter school in and taught him some classes, and they loved it.
Charter school, that's awesome.
It's a free.
What a good guy!
It's a free charter school for disadvantaged kids. But he brought them in and talked with them. So yeah, we're doing that in those kind of capacity, but also just a lot of the. It's funny, it's been almost exactly 10 years since I started in Pittsburgh, and some of my youth students are now in college and stuff. So it's kind of interesting. Some of it started with us,
Don't worry, I know how that is. Yeah. I know people in all walks of life, and You just go with it, and you're doing great things. That's why I'm so honored to have you on the show
thank you.
today, because of what you do in the community.
I'm glad to be.
When are you open? How do they get a hold of you?
Well,
'Cause I never ask Andy that. He always puts it right out there.
Well, the best way to
I figured I'd ask the boss.
well, I mean, Andy's amazing too. Just in himself. Like,
Why do you think I've had him on 5 times?
Inspiring guy, right? Like,
yes, he is.
If Andy's like positive to a fault, right? Like if
he is.
If you say anything or negative around Andy, it just doesn't register.
It goes right past.
Because he's just firing back positive for it. And that's how he's been in his athletic career, and now he's
everything he does.
He's bringing that to everything he does. So yeah, it's really great having him. But the best way to find us is probably our website.
Tell us.
Stout PGH. STOUT PGH. So
you got it, Smoking Jim?
Stout PGH.
Because they're coming to Gateway.
Yeah, we'll have all that info up soon, and then but our schedules are on there. We have the most jiu-jitsu classes in the state of Pennsylvania, just in our Strip District location.
You're kidding. No wonder you love that place.
Yeah, but I mean, and then we have Cranberry's the probably the second biggest jiu-jitsu school in the greater Pittsburgh area.
Really?
Just our second school, and then I think we have 40 jiu-jitsu class times a week. That's just adult jiu-jitsu.
40 classes. Wow.
Well, we have 96 in a Strip, something like that. So it's
I needed those numbers. I'm a numbers guy. That's great.
Something like that. I mean, it's we're
This isn't a test here. This
Right.
is about you. How you doing so far?
I'm doing okay. I hope.
You answered everything perfectly, as far as I could tell.
You were throwing me soft, like you said in the last one. You were throwing me soft pitches, so that was easy. But yeah.
We'll put it like this: I'm here to help you, Dale, and anybody else that's doing good things in Pittsburgh. Because you know how positive Andy is. I'm even more positive than he is, because I got you guys on my show to present positive things that you do naturally.
Yeah.
You're not even bragging about it. We're just talking about how you do business.
Yeah.
And that's what I respect deeply, that you're doing that.
Yeah.
And that's why we have a little fun. I bust a little, can I say balls? But we do have some fun. It's a family show, and that's why I wanted to have you on here, and it's just been a pleasure having you here. I think we're winding down on time here. We got a couple minutes maybe? 1 minute. I have a natural clock that goes off. So.
Well, that went fast. That was fun talking with you guys. I enjoyed talking with you guys at the Muay Thai event as well.
No, I did too.
We'll see you guys
sit here for a minute, because I end each show. And it was great guests tonight. We only had 3, but they were strong, every one of them. And I end each show in honor of Joey Fabus, who died before his 10th birthday with brain cancer, DIPG. And I end it with Stay Joey Strong.